Guys, in this tutorial we'll be talking about the client management system of Sheria space. So this client management system, we've designed it so that you can be able to manage and organize your clients. In a very modern way within the system. So let's head to the client module, and over here is the clients page. And as you see, we have a list of clients over here. We have 11 clients, as you can see. To make this list longer, you can just switch. So now we're 10. You can go to 15 up or up to 20, but let's stick to 5. And then you can go through the sub pages to view the clients. Over here we have the what we call client groups. So basically, client groups are groups that you use to group those particular clients or of yours. For instance, over here we have the corporate group, individual group, and bank groups. So these groups will help you to split or to divide your clients into the various groups that they belong to or they fall under. So for instance, the corporate clients, there are 3 corporate clients there, and there's 3 individual clients, and then there's 3 banking clients. If you want to add a new group, you come and click on this gear icon, and then you can add a group. If you want to delete one of these groups, just click on the delete button and then click on yes. So just to show an example, maybe you want to add a new group for maybe law firms. So all you do is to do that and then click on add, and then it's been added. Over here you can use this to search for a particular client. So all you have to do is enter their name, maybe let's say Gulf, or let's say PPC, or any. You can use the email, you can use the name of the client to do the search. So let's go to creating a client. All you have to do is click on the add icon, and then over here you can fill the details of the particular client that you want to create. So over here, let's say it's a company. Let's say maybe it is a company called Reinvestments. And then this you can add the maybe let's say it is a let's assume that it's a law firm, and then all these are not necessary fields to be filled. And then there's something. So let's add the name. Sorry about that. Let's add this one is the name, not the email. So let's add it over here, and then let's add an email. Okay. So once you do this, there's the password that is created for the contact. A contact is the individual within that particular company or organization that you'll be interacting with. So, for instance, Korea Investments Limited as a company is a company. Maybe they have a CEO or a director, or maybe a legal representative who the firm will be interacting with. And so this person is who we call the contact. So when you're creating a company always has a contact. And when it comes to an individual, of course, an individual is his or her own contact. So you can toggle this to create a contact. And once you create a contact, a password will be generated. And this password can be used once you hit on the save button or on the create button to create this particular client. They will a client portal will be automatically created for this particular client, and this will be the password that they can use to log in and to view the details of this particular client. So let's click on create contact, on create. Once you do that, the client has been created successfully. Now you don't have to always toggle the create contact every time. You can leave it like this, and when you do, you'll realize that the password will not be there. So that means that you've just created. Let me just do so that you can look at an example. So as can see, the law firm has reflected over here. So we have one law firm group that we added just right now. So let's see what will happen if you don't toggle the create contact. So as you can see, the password will not be visible. So that means that a client account has not been created for this particular client that they can use to access their details. However, as we'll see later, you can actually add contacts, as many contacts as you want, within a particular client. So, and we'll go through that later. So let's have another example. Maybe let's say, so let's say it's University of Nairobi as your client, and then it is a school. So over here we haven't created a contact, so there'll be no need to enter a password or anything like that. And we can create the contacts within the case itself. So let's click on create, and then you can refresh to view the changes over here. Once you refresh, you'll see that there's the school clan that has been added here. So these groups kind of they just group your client base into various groups so that you can have an overview from this end or on that. So let's get into a client to be able to view all the details. So let's use this particular school. So if you can remember, we didn't create a contact in this side on this client over here. So as you can see over here is the basic information, is the summary, the invoices the client will have been sent, the proposals they'll have been sent, the cases related to this particular client that will be handling will be here, the tickets related to this client, the notes. Again, the note feature, it is just some kind of sort of like a notice board where you can add the basic general notes that you want everybody to know about. So for instance, like that. Then reminders based on this particular client. So you can add a reminder from here. Maybe you want on this particular date, on at this time, you can set a reminder to a particular person, and then you can describe what you want them to do. You want them to talk to client, and then you add the reminder. So over here, it is a reminder added to particular person, talk to client. So to add contacts, all you have to do is click on this plus button. So as we said earlier, in an institution, there are in an institution or a company or an organization, there are people within the organization that you interact with who represent that particular organization. So those are people that we refer to as contacts. So you can simply click on the plus icon over here to add that particular contact. Let's add a simple contact. Maybe let's say you in your end you have a person called James Michuki. His email is jmichuki@jon.com. And let's say he's the settle his legal representative, legal rep, and his phone is this. And you can fill all these as you want. And then over here, again, there's you can create the password for that particular client, and then you can set them as the primary contact. So the primary contact is anybody who's a primary contact. There is a client portal that has been created for that person. So an account is created for that particular contact which they can use to access the details of this particular client. So maybe if you choose John as the primary contact, if you create him as a primary contact, that means that you can use this his email and this particular password to log into the system from the client side of the system and access the details of University of Nairobi as a client. So they can see all the details related to University of Nairobi, from their cases to their invoices to their tickets, and manage the all that from that end. So let's create John as a primary contact. You click next. And once you click next, you go to this particular page where you can choose all the things that John can have access to. Maybe you want John to be able to see only the invoices and the cases, and maybe and only that. Once you hit on create, so once the current will be created successfully. So when James logs into the system from the client side, all James will be able to see will be the cases and the invoices, because that is what we've set James to be able to see. We can add all these others if you want to, or we can remove some of them also that we feel that you want to limit. So let's add all of them. So that means that when James logs into the system, they can see all the details related to this particular client. So you can add other contacts. You can add more than one contact. So let's just refresh it. So you can add more than one contact. So let's maybe add a contact called Harriet Mudoni. Mudoni@un.com. Maybe she's a deputy VC over there. You can add a phone, an extension, all that. And because she's not a primary contact, you can click on this to untoggle that, and then you'll just get an account for her. But she won't have a client portal to be able to log in, a client account to be able to log and view these details. So you can click on next, and then since they don't have an account, there's no need to even toggle these ones. You just skip and click create, and you can see the contact has been created successfully. So far in under UON, as you can see, we now have under UON as our client. We now have two contacts, James and Harry. Two you can contact. So the details will be over here. The update. If you want to update those details, you can come to this section to update the details. Then if you want to update the privileges, you can also click on that. Click on update if you want to update it. Same to Harriet. Just the same thing. If you click over here, you can see if you click over here, you can be able to see Harriet's details, her position, her phone number, everything about it. So you can also delete it from this end if you want to. It should be deleted. And from John's end, you can even change the password. So as you said, we create a client account for each one of the primary contacts. So since James was added as a primary contact, we can simply change the password of that particular account. Maybe they've forgotten their password, so they'll get back to you and ask you to reset their password, and you can do so from this end. So you can maybe say the new password will be James123. Okay. So when James wants to log in, now they'll use his email and that particular password to log into the client portal of the system. So you can add as many contacts as you want under each client. So it's just a great way to manage your contacts and your clients, because you might be having one particular client, but this client is an organization or is a company, and under them you do have other contacts who work within this particular area. So this is a great way to manage your particular contacts based on the organization that they represent or that they work in. So now that we've seen how contacts works in how the client system works for organizations and companies, let's see how it works for individual users or individuals. So there's an individual called Yusas Kitinji Mutea. When you click over here, you can see her details over here. Just the client portal is just similar to on all of them, whether it's an individual or a company. So the basic information, all their invoices, as you can see over here, the invoices of Ustas, the proposal, the cases that we handle of Ustas are here, the tickets that they've written, all the notes related to them, any reminder set, and the client activities. This means that once they log in, or if they add something to the case and so forth, you can see all the activities from this end. You can update the details from here, and then you can add a contact. Now, in the case of an individual client, of course, you have to add the contact. The contact will be the individual themselves. So over here is the details of this particular contact, and then you can update the details from this end. And then is the privileges that has been set. So let's cancel this, or let's delete it so that you can see. So over here, this individual client, let's create a contact under this client. So obviously the contact will be the client themselves. So this one, let's just ing, and the email, let's say it's gmail.com. Then let's say E is maybe a businessman. Then you can add their phone number, extension, and all these other details. Now, since Eustace is just an individual, you can just create the you can add them as the primary contact, and the primary contact will be the person who will be able to log into the client account. So you go to next, and then you add the what the contact will be able to access. Now, an individual can also have more than one contact. Maybe they have two or three people who are who are looking after their welfare, or two or three individuals who are interested parties in that particular individual. So you can have more than one contact within an individual also, just as you can under the businesses. So let's go back to the client tab. And so, yeah, so this is all that we have related to when it comes to clients. And so if you want, so that's all when it comes to the client section. And if you want a full extensive review and a demo of the client section, you can contact us and we'll get back to you and schedule a demo for the entire system and the contact module also. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below. If or contact or email us with your questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So you can view our other video tutorials, which will talk to you more or will explain to you more about the various features of our system and how they work.